This is also an area where I've seen in other people's reporting, because the migrants are coming through here, the coyotes are coming through here. Law enforcement personnel and the coyotes and whatnot have exchanged gunfire across this valley. So I am not going to stick here too long. I did see somebody across the way take off running as I pulled up. So time to go. So we're here in the northeastern part of San Luis Rio Colorado, and you can see, kind of looking down the border wall, this is a super straight stretch. We're gonna drive along most of it through town. I'm looking for evidence of cut marks, but I highly doubt we're gonna see any because from here west, you've got the wall that is pretty highly trafficked along. This is going to be a more major road. I wanted to give folks a view through. So looks like this is the case most of the way along the San Luis border. We've got fields and farmland on the other side of the wall, but we've got a double wall. So let's pop into the car and roll and see what we find. I'm gonna head to what looks like the primary migrant shelter. It's relatively close to the border crossing, so we'll head up and check that out before I cross the border and get back into the U.S. Of spots where the fence had been repaired right under those trees. Looks like they're using the cover they can get. A couple more right there behind these blocks. Okay. Wow. This is a pretty highly trafficked street. I'm surprised. That's some balls. Unless, oh, look at that, two more. This is right out in the open. Right up against the border wall, and I'm wanting to get into this unpaved neighborhood back here just to get a view of, yeah, sure enough. Okay, so this is something that I wanted to see if this was happening in these neighborhoods. So this is evidence of how they're getting through the wall in this case. So these plates are spots where they've cut through the wall and been able to knock it over. These things are filled with concrete though, and so I don't imagine they would have much luck cutting through with a plasma torch. It's probably a grinder or a sawzall, but because this is a little bit out of the way, it's a location where they don't have a lot of eyes on them, and they can use that opportunity to get through the wall instead of going up and over. So I'm going to cruise down this neighborhood It is a bit sketch, not being paved. I can see back behind me, there's a spot where the taxi drivers are hanging out. And there's a double wall here. So, kind of keeping an eye on the wall. I'm seeing quite a few areas where the bollard fence has been cut. Let me see here. I'm betting we find a spot where there's a whole bunch of that as we get a little further down the road. Up top, starting to see a lot more barbed wire they got installed. Okay, this is a spot where we can see a bit more easily what's happening on the other side. So let's pop out and take a look here. You can see we've got a spot where we've got another patch, and this has been welded here into place. So what I'm noticing is this is a spot where this upper fence piece has ended, and then it's like the one just to the side of that, because it's not being supported by this longer piece of metal. So this will be the post, or this one that they'll choose to go after, because it's not tied in up at the top. I don't know how visible this is to look through to the other side, but it's just kind of open area, not even a field that I can see immediately on the other side, maybe out there a little ways. So hypothetically, somebody getting through would have a little bit of running distance. These spots right along the border, I'm pretty consistently being told that the cartel keeps a real close eye on them. Oftentimes they'll purchase the properties right next to the wall. So they've got ample eyes on everything. So on the other side of this string of houses is a drainage ditch, and then kind of the main highway that's running into San Luis from Mexicali. Oh, look at this. Okay, so this will be interesting to check out. We've got a part of the Colorado River that's cutting through right here. So let's get out and see what this security looks like. And you can see through here. I'll get some cars that'll cross. But this is the number 2. So a pretty big, busy highway. So there's the Colorado River, or a portion of it. And then the fence, border wall. And one section of it is running above the river. And then it looks like there's this portion that runs down into the water. I'm sure all the way down to the ground to make sure that folks can't slip in. But oh, look at this. Okay, so down here I'm seeing repair spots where people have cut through the bollards in order to be able to kick out kind of top and bottom, to be able to kick out those chunks of the wall and then be able to hop through. Through this on the other side, I'm seeing there's a double wall, so you go several hundred more yards. Oh, a puppy. Hey, puppy. several hundred more yards, and there's more wall back there. Interesting that they would get down into the water there. I mean, that seems like probably the easiest, quickest way to access, because they can cut a top and bottom. Look at this. They can cut a top and bottom pretty easily and out of view by getting down underneath there. Let's hop out and see this. This is something that you see a lot of also in the Libertad neighborhood in Tijuana, where you get these cuts. So you can see here, there's two. I mean, these are right on top of each other. Just repair spots. A couple more. There's a few more there. And there's this kind of dead zone where you see the other side of the wall. And I'm not seeing from this vantage point repair spots on that wall. So I'm wondering if maybe that wall's newer and put up because this wall has been obviously porous. People have been cutting through over time. Oh boy. Some of these power lines are dipping pretty low. There's a whole bunch under this tree. Because why spend a whole bunch of time out in the sun when you could do it in the shade? Okay, in the wall that's through this one on the other side, I am not seeing any patches. So I'm guessing the main method of transit is to cut through one of these and take a ladder, maybe rope ladder or whatever, through with you to be able to get up and over the other wall. The back wall there does not have barbed wire on it. Ooh. Mama puppy. Okay. So curious. Really not seeing any more cut spots. So I think we kind of saw the hot spot back there. I'm guessing that where they're cutting through, oh no, never mind. Holy cow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, 14, 15. I'm curious to know if this has anything to do with the people who live here on the left side. You know, if they come out and stop the people from... Got a few more. If, you know, somebody comes along to start working on the wall and the folks who live here come out and they're like, no, further down. Don't mess around right in front of my house. I don't want this action. Got a few more. Security's pretty tight in some of these spots. Cameras, solid walls. Some of these places are pretty nice, and some of these places are pretty not nice. Makes me suspicious of the nice places. So when you go from the state of Baja California Norte into Sonora, the state of Sonora, there's a inspection station, and then they charge a toll. and I'm driving kind of back along this border fence road, and just to my left is the big toll station where they charge like 13 pesos for a car to pass through into Sonora. And okay, so actually run into a paved road now, and then that's going to go out to the inspection station. This is paved here. I'm curious to see if we see, I'm guessing there's more traffic because it's paved or nicer neighborhood, if we're going to see any of the evidence of cutting through. So far, none. We're also getting really close to this long straight stretch of wall before it kicks back up away from the road, and then parallels up the old course of the Rio Colorado, which is kind of snaked around and has a different riverbed at this point. So the US-Mexico border, when it was finalized, is no longer following the course of the Colorado River. It's following the historic course, or a historic course, of the Colorado River. And yeah, I haven't seen a cut mark, definitely since we hit the pavement, so that tells me there's more patrol stuff happening here. Got some graffiti. Okay, and then this gets into, oh, look at this. Oh, we actually have a break in the fence where one of the estuaries comes through. Let me pop out and film what's happening. Oh, I know what this is. Okay, I've seen this in other documentaries. This is a major crossing point where people, migrants, cross over kind of through this portion. We see the wall kind of kicking up this direction, but this is a spot where migrants will pop over to the US and just sit and wait to get picked up to claim asylum. However, this is also an area where I've seen in other people's reporting, because the migrants are coming through here, the coyotes are coming through here, law enforcement personnel and the coyotes and whatnot have exchanged gunfire across this valley. So I am not going to stick here too long. I did see somebody across the way take off running as I pulled up. So time to go. Time to go. Let's GTFO. Anytime you pull up somewhere and you see someone take off running, that is not a good sign. Okay. Whew. So my guess is that might have been a spotter for whatever coyote system or possibly cartel is moving migrants through the area. And when I pulled up, homeboy took off to go let whoever know that there is somebody here. My guess is there may be a response. Maybe even the car that's pulling out behind me. Let's see if I can outrun them. Nope, that car's not following me happily. Let me get my seatbelt on. Alright, I'm in a GTFO. And let's take the main road out of here. If I can take a left out of here, I think I can. safety in the busier roads. Oh, okay. There's the fee station through there, so I won't have to pay again. So you can get across the road here. I'll get whacked. Whew. Okay, back on the 2. Headed into town. Nice little suburban neighborhood. This is the... Okay. So yeah, it looks like this is a spot where the migrants can come and possibly also area homeless to get food, to get basic shelter. I was just chatting briefly with a new friend who is here to get some food and get cleaned up a bit before she takes off again. So I can see that there's directions posted also on the door for how to get to the local food bank and whatever resources are available to folks. All right, popped inside, said hi, and got a phone number for the director of the Casa del Migrante. I'll come back when I'm in San Luis Rio Colorado next and set up an interview with him. Sounds like I can get a tour. He's not here right now, but sounds like I can get a tour of the facility. He speaks English and would be happy to do an interview with what's happening here in San Luis and the area with the migrants and answer all the questions. So I believe my work here in San Luis is done in this initial part. So I'm going to get back across the border. So I'm back here across on the U.S. side, and I'm going to go to the Cocopa reservation where they've got the end of the wall and then they've got the vehicle barriers again. I just want to check that out one more time, but I'm passing a stationed Customs and Border Patrol officer. I want to go ask him about my experience right over on the San Luis Rio Colorado side where that person took off and, you know, may have been acting as a lookout. I want to see if I can get their take on what that might have been. Let's head up to our 12 7/8 and see what we can find. Okay. Estamos aquí. Twelve 7/8. Like much has changed since I was here a few weeks ago. And I'm chatting with Customs and Border Patrol then. Out here is the boundary somewhere in the middle, wherever they spotted the location of the Rio Colorado. Now, last time I was here, I had shorts on, but I had shoes and socks, and obviously I'm sitting with my chacos today, so I'm even less prepped for this grass that like chopped up my legs when I was walking through them. So I do not want to get far into, as they say, the weeds. But let's see if there's any interesting trash that's cropped up last little bit. I don't think they're coming along here super often and cleaning up all the discarded IDs and foreign cash and all the other stuff that people ditch, especially the folks who need to be able to claim they're from a country that they're not from, because we're not taking asylum applications from those countries. Not seeing much. Yikes, this grass is sharp. Ooh, and mosquitoes. Huzzah. Love it. Okay, so this is a college ID. Colegio de Ingenieros del Perú. Cover the name in the guy's face, but yeah, I believe the Peruvians do need to ditch their ID because we don't have an asylum agreement with them necessarily. So pretty good chance he's claiming to be something else, maybe Venezuelan, who we're more likely to take as part of the asylum process. This is pretty weather beaten. I'm guessing it's been sitting out here in the sun for quite a while. Oh, this is an actual card. It's got somebody's name on it. Hard to tell what bank it's from. Oh, there it is. Latin American Bank. No, this is an actual person's card. Oh no, this is a prepaid. Oh, got a decent amount of stuff here. Okay, that's a gift card. Playa del Carmen business card. That's Eastern Mexico. All right, got another ID. Let's see who this is. Get out. Okay, this is Vietnam. This is a driver's license. Looks like this person was born in 2004. A young man. April 2004. Okay. So 2024 now, he's 20 years old. Making a play to get into the US. So this is a motorcycle license and a driver's license. So he's got his motorcycle endorsement. Good for him. Fellow motorcycle rider. This one is not all washed out by the sun. Indicating it's, yeah, evidently fairly recent. I'm sure I could find more if I was to keep walking along the wall here, but if that kind of gives you an idea, we've got more people showing up here. Vietnam. That's a trek. Came a long way, especially for a 20-year-old. Holy cow. Took a lot of bravery. I'm sure he underwent a lot of hardship. Not sure he's going to qualify to be able to stay, unless he claims he's from somewhere that maybe he's got a little better chance to make a case. Let me get back to the car and get back into the air conditioning. Holy crap, it's hot.